Congratulations to our AT&T Field Seat Upgrade winners of the game. You yourself have a chance of winning. All you have to do is post a selfie on Instagram or X using the hashtag Legion ATT Upgrade for your chance to win. All our 2024 members have a priority in winning. So if you want a priority in winning these upgraded seats, then get your membership today.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to invite you to join us and our partners at Vulcan Materials Company for a round of applause for any military members in attendance at tonight's Salute to Service. At this time, if you currently serve, we'd like for you to please stand. Thank you.
It's a new season here in the Magic City as the Birmingham Legion FC looking to get back into postseason after missing the postseason in 2024, while the Loudoun United FC squad looking to make their first ever postseason appearance in 2025. Coming up, the season opener between the Birmingham Legion FC and Loudoun United FC. It's Saturday night in Birmingham as the starting line for 2025 begins tonight. The Birmingham Legion open up the 2025 season at home against Loudoun United at Protective Stadium. As we welcome you into the Magic City of Birmingham, a happy game day. James Hardy with you along with Morgan Copes. And Morgan, it's always exciting to get another season underway.
It certainly is, and all of these players are going to be eager to go out, show what they've learned in preseason. They've been barked at for weeks from their coaches, and they're going to be wanting to go out and get 3 points tonight.
And when you look at Birmingham, it's basically a makeover as far as their roster for the upcoming season.
It certainly is. Coach Stone said he wanted to turn the page completely from 2024, and they've added multiple faces to their team, including Ronaldo Damas, Danny Trejo, and Roman Torres, who is newly announced this week. Plus, they added somebody off the field into the ownership, and Chris Richards from Crystal Palace into the ownership group, and that shows their ambition on the field for sure.
And when you look at Loudoun United, a lot of potential for them as far as a young roster, as they also just missed the playoffs last season.
Certainly, and Coach Ryan was telling us earlier this week that they are the third youngest, or were the third youngest team in professional ranks in the world last year. So showing how much they've matured is going to be important to them tonight and staying focused. But when you've got a guy like Florian Velo in your team who was in the USL Team of the Year last year, you've got an opportunity.
Optimism abounds here in Birmingham for both teams when it comes to what hopefully is a successful 2025 season. Coming up next, the season opener between Birmingham Legion FC and Loudoun United FC.
This sandwich is not just spicy, it's flavorful.
Hi, this is Patayo. And this is Elsa. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick. I really like the marinated chicken breast because the spice comes in at just the right moment.
Oh, no. A little thing I love is that cilantro lime sauce. It's a fun blend of zesty and bold. It's highlighting the flavors in the chicken. That's what really makes me happy. Are you going to eat all your fries?
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
A cool Saturday night. A cool Saturday night here in Birmingham as we're moments away from getting the 2025 season started. James Hardy, Morgan Cooks with you as let's go ahead and take a look at the starters first for Loudoun United, Morgan.
Certainly, and we expect them to kind of come out with five at the back. Learman's probably going to drop, be the centerpiece of that back five, but you'll have McCabe, Abukora, and Velo who will be pushing forward to provide for Ryan and Leggett.
Loudoun United 11, 14, and 9 in 2024, and then Birmingham last season 13, 15, and 6 as we take a look at their starting 11.
Yes, and the key tonight is going to be looking at those front four. What can they do? Damas, Trejo, Tebortaka, and Torres. Let's see if they can get some service from McCartney and Hernandez Foster, but should be an exciting team to watch this year.
Should be an exciting season, as you mentioned in the opening. A lot of optimism for both of these teams after they just missed the 2024 playoffs for the USL season. As we take a look at our officials for tonight's ball game, Natalie Simon, our head referee for tonight. There you see our gentleman and lady in green, and then our head coaches for Loudoun United FC, Ryan Martin, in his 7th season, as he's certainly hoping that his team can show some points tonight on the road for the first of 3 games for them this season on the road. And then veteran head coach Tom Sohn for the Birmingham Legion FC, obviously a very accomplished and well-respected Coach Morgan when it comes to the USL circuit.
Certainly, and last year did not go how he wanted it to go. He had high hopes for last year. He has said multiple times, he has wanted to forget 2024, and he is ready for this team to get out on the field and show what they can do.
We talked with both coaches earlier this week, Morgan, as far as what they wanted to see out of these teams. What are you interested in seeing out of these two teams tonight?
Yeah, certainly. I think for Legion FC, it's about going out and it's putting the pressure on a young Loudoun team. They are still young, no matter how much time they've had on the field or together. Last year they were very young. They're still very young this year. I want to see that firepower come out and put some goals in the back of the net. And for Loudoun, they just need to focus. Coach Martin talked to us earlier this week about how his guys would just have a short lapse in concentration. And at this level, you can't do that because you will give up a goal and you'll concede.
Of course, in close games, which both of these teams will, I imagine, see a lot of over the course of the season. Sometimes it's those little mistakes that can mean the difference between a win, draw, or even a loss. We are underway for the 2025 season as the Birmingham Legion FC in their black tops and bottoms tonight, and the red tops and bottoms for Loudoun United FC. So we're just getting things started here in Birmingham. The first of two home games to open up the 2025 season for the Birmingham Legion FC, as they'll attack off to our left to get things started for 2025. Birmingham already in the attacking third to get things started, as the pass toward Trejo toward the near side, and that's just tipped out of bounds by Loudoun United. So we'll have a throw-in coming up. So already Birmingham, a lot of new additions, especially offensively. And let's see if we get our first Birmingham corner kick of the evening. Of course, all of our corner kicks tonight brought to you by Chick-fil-A. So Birmingham going to the goal to our left here in the first half. As there you see our first Chick-fil-A corner kick for Birmingham Legion FC for this season. A cool but still a very nice night here at Protective Stadium in Birmingham. Around the 60-degree mark or so, maybe some rain, but after we get to the finish line for tonight's opening match. See what the Legion can do here on the very first corner kick for 2025. A good positioning and the opening goal for the season. And very early on, less than 2 minutes in, Morgan, Birmingham gets on the board.
Absolutely, and what a picture-perfect start to the season for Birmingham Legion FC. I believe it was Jake Roof who got on the end of that. Farouk may have come for that. I don't know why he didn't. We'll get a chance to see that on the replay, but fantastic service in. It was whipped in, had plenty of pace on it, and Jake Roof was there to just dot it home.
An AT&T goal for the Birmingham Legion FC, the first of the season, and once again, it's about as good as a way to start the season, Morgan, as you can get if you're Coach Thompson.
Certainly, and I don't know what the odds makers would have had Jake Roof as the first goal scorer for Legion FC this year, but I guarantee you would have been paid out a pretty penny had you picked him.
Well, whomever did put money on that bet certainly comes out a very, very rich man or woman. So Loudoun United already in an early hole as they'll try and attack off to our right. A solid job for Birmingham of getting things cleared out. As Erlinson initially settles things down for Loudoun United. They had, as far as their brief history in the USL, their best season in their organization's history with 11 wins, and came up at least a couple of games shy in the standings behind Birmingham last season.
Yeah, and I mean, they had a positive goal difference. They created a ton of chances. They missed a ton of big chances. They were fourth in the league last year, and big chances missed with 57. For reference, Birmingham had 42 big missed chances, but even so, both teams want to make sure they put their chances away. Here's another one. Great save from Van Oekel.
Yeah, Van Oekel, a veteran as far as the Legion roster, and comes up and shows you as far as his skill in protecting the net.
Absolutely. The 38-year-old is no young spring chicken by any stretch of the imagination, but he showed there he still has the ability to get across his goal.
But I imagine, Morgan, especially with a lot of new faces for the Legion this year, that someone like Van Oekel will be very key as far as that leadership presence on the roster.
Certainly. I mean, you've got Van Oekel, Kavita, Roof, have all been here really since almost day one. Wow.
A corner kick into the back of the net, so Loudoun United scores just about 2 minutes after the Birmingham Legion get their first goal of the season. So a hot start for both teams as they already have their first goals of the season.
Certainly, and both teams had a ball whipped straight inside the 6 and had their attackers get on the end of it. And that's a great start and a great response from Coach Martin and his Loudoun boys.
So both teams on the board early on, just in the first 5 minutes or so of this first half. Another AT&T goal tonight. So already a couple of those for, at least one for Birmingham and then one for Loudoun United. And there you take a look at the Birmingham Legion. Ronaldo Damas, one of those fresh faces for Coach Tom Sohn, ready to get the ball back in play. Legion trying to advance it, and it already appears, Morgan, as far as the at least the mindset that these coaches want out of their offenses, attack early and often. So far, both teams have shown that they've been able to play aggressively early on.
Yes, both have taken very good big advantage of set pieces thus far. Legion FC off a free kick in the corner, and then Loudoun their first corner of the game, going and headed it home as well.
And certainly a long journey as far as the 2025 season to get into postseason, but especially for a squad like Loudoun United, as Birmingham tries and does indeed get possession. I imagine for this Loudoun United squad, Morgan, that certainly if they can come up even with a draw, but especially a win on the road, it would do a lot as far as getting some confidence early in the season.
Certainly, and it's funny, both teams have given up goals on set pieces. The first set piece that they had to defend so far this year, and set pieces is one of those things that you train for, you practice, and you can plan for, right? And unfortunately, both of these teams, neither one of them got it right on the defensive side to start the year.
So both teams already with a goal to get things started, as Loudoun United trying to put some pressure on the right. As we'll go ahead and give you as far as the opening goals, and the first for Birmingham in just the first couple of minutes of play. In fact, both goals coming off corner kick opportunities.
And Torres whipping a great ball in, and then you see, I believe it was Erlinson who got up for Loudoun and nodded that into the corner. And Matt Van Oekel, neither goalkeeper had a chance. Now that you see the replays, both great headers placed right in the corner, great service. What a fantastic start for each team in the attacking sense.
First of 3 consecutive games away from home for Loudoun United to get the season started. Also the first of 2 consecutive home games for the Birmingham Legion to get their season started. So Loudoun United already in the attacking third. They're moving off to our right here in the opening half. Loudoun United, good job of sharing the ball so far, as they're trying to take their first lead of the season. Trying to angle that toward Skundrich. As Legion trying to clear it out, as it'll go out of bounds across the way. Remember, fans, to stay up to date on all the latest Legion FC news, be sure to follow at BHM Legion on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and download the Legion FC app today. So both teams able to score a goal, as we have not quite gotten to the first 10 minutes of at least the first half here in the 2025 season opener. We appreciate you for joining us tonight. Both the Birmingham Legion FC and Loudoun United barely missing out on the postseason in 2024, trying to get off to a good start here in 2025. Loudoun United in red. Good pass toward the middle as Birmingham Legion with some solid initial defense. But Loudoun United trying to get the possession of the ball right back.
Yeah, and that's a fantastic ball across the ground for Abu Kora, who got down the byline and pitched it back, but nobody in the red shirt there to put it away. Legion FC need to make sure that they keep an eye on him. Last year, he scored a fantastic goal against Birmingham, here in Birmingham, so he's certainly a player who can put the ball in the back of net and create for his teammates as well.
First free kick of the ball game. As Tommy McCabe able to trigger the ball back in play. Loudoun United gets it in the box. As we said, that's kicked out of bounds by the Legion, so possession retains with Loudoun United. So Loudoun United able to at least get the advantage when it comes to field position over the last couple of minutes as they'll throw it back into play. Over toward the near side is Learman. Loudoun United trying to get their second goal in about the last 5 minutes or so.
And Loudoun has certainly circled their left side and getting at Legion FC's right side in Jake Roof and Preston Tabor Ataka as an opportunity for them. Abu Khor has been on the end of several things, whipped in a couple balls already. So we'll see how long that continues. Legion FC has been kind of caught back deep here for the last few minutes since they got forward initially and scored that first goal.
In fact, let's take a look at Morgan's keys to tonight's season opening match. And obviously with a lot of new faces, one of those keys, trust the teammates when it comes to Birmingham.
Certainly your playmakers in Fernand Torres, and you've also got Danny Trejo, but they should be able to come out and create chances, which they already have. But on the flip side, you've got Loudoun. We mentioned play with maturity. They're one of the youngest teams in the league. Immediately coming and getting a goal right after giving one up in the first 3 minutes is a huge response. So they've got to continue to keep that mentality and roll forward.
The two teams tied up at 1. We've crossed at least now into the 12th minute of the 2025 season as Birmingham trying to advance it up the field, but Loudoun United, they've been able to at least keep possession for much of the last several minutes or so. It's now the Birmingham Legion trying to advance it into their own attacking end across the way. Battle for the ball, and looks as if we've got a stoppage in play and an opportunity to take a look for the first time this season at our injury report. And first off, for Birmingham, A.J. Patterson out, and then Enzo Martinez with a red card suspension from that red card to close out 2024. So Enzo Martinez will make his season debut next weekend. And then you also take a look at Robbie Dambro and Cole Turner, both unavailable for tonight for Loudoun United. Throw-in coming in for Birmingham. Their own defensive third. Very competitive match so far tonight, as both teams able to attack and score early. As Birmingham finished a couple of games ahead in the USL standings in 2024 ahead of Loudoun United. So Birmingham does have possession as we take a look at Hamoda. Now Birmingham will slow it down. And attacking, nice job defensively that time by Florian Velo of getting the interception. As good recovery, however, by Birmingham to deny the goal scoring opportunity inside the box. So it remains tied up at 1. As right now, Morgan, Loudoun United with momentum so far in this first half.
Again, we talked about Velo briefly in the pregame. He catches Fenwell Kavita on the ball, who gives it away, and he breaks away for a chance at goal for Loudoun. And you know, Coach Martin talked about they need to be more ruthless in front of goal, and that was certainly an opportunity for them to be ruthless, and they weren't. Hamuda comes and makes himself big and gets the block.
Birmingham trying to create an opportunity as ball last touched by Loudoun United out of bounds. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Loudoun United trying to clear it out of their own defensive third. Very solid job of getting it up the field as Loudoun United trying to stay onside, and they're able to do so. It's able to get the quick transition in field position. Got numbers as they can push it. Good pass toward the goal, and nice job by Van Oekel of at least clearing it away from the goal out of bounds.
Yeah, it looks like Leggett had just drifted offside just a tad. But Van Oekel certainly makes a save. He would have given up a quarter, but a good ball in for McCabe. The Jet gets on the end of it, but all for naught because he was offside.
And nice job either way of Van Oekel of making sure that ball didn't go into the back of the net, but no worries for Birmingham on that offside.
Yeah, it's interesting. So Loudoun are very stretched here. They're about 40 to 50 yards front to back. But Legion FC are not finding the passes in between the lines to find Kobe Hernandez-Foster, Torres, or McCartney. And they're ending up having to go long or give the ball away in this situation. So credit to Loudoun for their shape and what they're able to do so far. The two up front have caused some problems for Kavita and Humuda thus far.
Tingy able to get it inbound for Loudoun United. They move it ahead, and it seems like they've had the ball off to our right for most of this first half, as it turns out. Birmingham got off to a strong start with their first goal of the season, the first minute and a half, and that pass, at least intended off toward the near side, just a little too far and out of bounds. So Birmingham will at least get possession back. That pass intended for Wesley Leggett as he had a step on his man, but Van Oekel will have a free kick coming up. So the Legion get it across midfield. Season opener for both of these teams, as Loudoun United has never made a USL playoff. Birmingham missed their first ever, at least had their first ever season of not making it to the postseason last year.
That's interesting right there. So Legion FC, it looks as though Danny Trejo has drifted more into a 10 position, and McCartney's kind of drifted to the wide left, but that's the right back for Loudoun. Tingy, who's on the end of that. So certainly some miscommunication or some things that Legion FC need to work out, because if McCartney needs to be picking him up, he's way out of position. But if Mensa's on him, then you've got two forwards in Leggett and Ryan, who Mensa also have to help deal with. So there's a little bit of an overload right there for Loudoun, and they're taking advantage of it when they get the opportunity. Some formational things that Legion FC probably need to work out just a little bit in the early run. But so far, I like what I see from Loudoun.
Yeah, Loudoun's played very impressively so far, as they were able to get in fact, both teams, their first goals of the season in the first 5 minutes, as batted around by both teams and last touched by the Birmingham Legion out of bounds. So Loudoun, they've dominated the field position for much of this first half, as Keegan Tingy with another throw-in. Trying to at least keep it in. A nice effort that time by Wesley Leggett, but not quite able. In fact, the offside flag does come, so Birmingham gets it back. Looking to grab some of the season's Legion FC merchandise to wear to the next match at Protective Stadium. Check out all the new gear now at bhmlegion.shop.
Yeah, the first 15 minutes of this game so far, over 50% of the match has been played in Legion FC's final or defensive third.
Tells you at least how aggressively that Loudoun has been playing so far tonight. They've been able to at least set the tempo so far here in the first half, as we come up almost on the 20th minute, just into the 19th minute of this opening half.
Yeah, certainly, and they've done so not so much with the ball at their feet, but they're pinning Legion FC back in their own defensive third and not allowing them to play out, and making them and forcing them to go over the top, which is not the strength of guys like Danny Trejo and Damas and Tabor Itaka, right? They're not going to be players that hold the ball up for you. They want it to their feet or into space. And so when you have to play a 40, 50, 60-yard ball, it gives the defenders plenty of time to be able to prep for that.
Birmingham trying to advance it upfield. So trying to push the tempo and see if we get a foul call, and I think it certainly will stay with Birmingham. As you take a look that time, good effort by Tabor Itaka as far as establishing some tempo for the Birmingham Legion. As they quickly advance it up the field, as that'll pop up almost toward the boundary. As it goes out of bounds, and let's see who they say will control.
Yeah, it looks as though she called the foul on Mensa, raising his arm, but very good opportunity for Legion FC. They played the ball from right to left off the throw in very quickly and did a fantastic job of that. I'm not sure there was much in that. He's got every right to defend there, but hey, at the same time, you know what? As long as the referee is consistent, the players will be perfectly fine. It's when they become inconsistent, that's when they start to get frustrated.
Good effort by both Mensa for Birmingham and Leggett for Loudoun United, trying to go after that ball, as it will indeed be a free kick coming up for Loudoun United. Into the 21st minute of the first half, almost halfway through the opening half. Jake Ruth with the opening goal of the season for Birmingham. And for Loudoun United, their goal came literally a couple of minutes right after that. Jacob Erlinson with the Loudoun United goals so far in this opening half. Loudoun United able to advance it up the field into the attacking third. However, Birmingham able to take it right back.
Again, another long ball from Legion FC. They're not finding the passing lanes in between their defense and their midfield. They're having to skip forward and play over the top, which is not their strength. They've got plenty of playmakers in McCartney and Hernandez Foster, as well as Torres. It looks as though we have a player down. The ball, I didn't see the referee actually blow the whistle, but the ball was never played out of bounds.
Yeah, looks like the man down occurred away from the ball. As we take a look, at least at the stoppage in play.
Looks to be the goal scorer, Lenson, who's gone down.
So it looks as if the training staff for Loudoun United taking a look at him. So we'll take a second look as far as what resulted in at least an apparent injury for Loudoun United. Looked like an awkward landing that time.
Yeah, he comes down holding his right knee. I don't know if that's something that's worse than what it looks. Hopefully not for Lanson. It's early in the season. The last thing you want to do is go down and take an injury like that.
Yeah, he got Loudoun United's first goal of the season in the 5th minute so far in this first half. And something, at least when we talked with Coach Ryan Morgan, as far as what he wanted to see out of his team, how they respond to adversity. And so you couldn't get much more adversity than allowing a goal in the first couple of minutes of the season. And then they came right back just a couple of minutes later, got on the board, and they've basically been able to establish the tempo that they won on the road so far tonight.
Certainly, and I've been very impressed with how they've come out and started this season. You know, Legion FC, Thompson won't be happy with how they've responded after their first goal. There's a great ball in for Ferran Torres. Drops it right into the corner.
Ruth on the goal for Birmingham to get the scoring started just in the first couple of minutes of play. And then just a few moments later, literally, Erlinson able to record his first goal of 2025, and both coming off the corner kick.
Absolutely, and the difference in those two is, so when Legion FC, when Roman Torres whipped his in, it was an in-swinging ball. So Farouk probably could have come for that. Van Oekel, on the other hand, the service that he was defending from below was an out-swinging corner. So goalkeepers typically will not chase the ball going away from their goal, but they will go get one that's coming towards it.
Last foul by Birmingham by Moses Mensah. This ball back into play coming off of the brief injury timeout. good start so far for the road team and for Birmingham as they've been able to notch their first goals of the season. Birmingham, the team in black, has the ball. They'll try and spread things out and see if they can attack, at least defensively, find a hole in the Loudoun United defense.
This is where more Legion FC wants to be, right?
Looks as if we've got a foul. We'll go on Loudoun United.
Velo wasn't very happy about that, but it'll give Legion FC another opportunity to whip a ball in. Could be Torres again, or it could be Hernandez Foster with the left foot this time.
We'll take another look at the Loudoun United foul that time, and I think that's going to be right about the edge, that attacking third for Birmingham as far as this upcoming free kick.
Yeah, and
Birmingham Freightliner, by the way, with this free kick for the Birmingham Legion. Right on the edge of the attacking third for the Legion. Size things up, and that kick goes way out of bounds, so nothing to worry about as far as Loudoun goalkeeper Hugo Faroux.
Yeah, that set piece was wasteful. It never really had a chance. It sailed out of bounds, landed out of bounds off of Torres' foot. So his first service in a Legion FC jersey was fantastic. Resulted in a goal. Second one couldn't have been more polar opposite.
For the Legion, of course, we've mentioned right at the very top of our telecast, a lot of new faces this year, so certainly will take some time to get that chemistry going, but plenty of time as far as the ultimate journey to the finish line for 2025.
Definitely, you've got Trejo, Ronaldo, Torres, all new this year in the starting lineup.
Loudoun United wrestles away control, as they've shown some good ball movement all throughout this first half. Now start to slow down the tempo as Learman controls. Now trying to get a player behind the Birmingham defense, as that's at least kept inside that goal line, and now a solid job by Birmingham as Van Oekel comes up to collect the loose ball. Good job by the Birmingham Legion defense as they're able to at least contain that scoring attack. As Ramiz Hamoda, as well as the rest of his Legion teammates, trying to move the ball up the field and want to see if they can retake the lead after taking the initial lead very briefly for a couple of minutes in the very opening moments of tonight's season opening match. Van Oekel just clears it out of bounds. For the Legion FC, they'll be back next Saturday at Protective Stadium on March 15th to host Louisville City FC right here at 7 p.m. Get your tickets to the match today at bhmlegion.com. As it looks as if we have a whistle, stoppage in play, and it appears to be a foul, I think, Morgan on Birmingham.
And McCartney goes through yet again. Listen, it's the second or third foul he's drawn so far. Referee could be pulling out a card here, ultimately for persistent infringement, especially if he feels that he's being targeted, but still early on in the game for something like that.
Yeah, it looks as if that the yellow card at least will stay in the pocket right now. Coming up on the 29th minute of tonight's match as the pass sails out of bounds. So Birmingham set to kick it right back into play. Very competitive match, pretty entertaining so far, especially to get the season started. And I would not be surprised if this goes down to the very final minute here, at least later on tonight in the second half. Nice job that time of Tingy, able to get possession. And now Loudoun United, at least they'll retreat back to their goalkeeper. So Hugo Faroux's been able to get much of a breather ever since allowing that opening goal for Loudoun United.
He really has. There hasn't been much from an attacking sense from Birmingham since their opening goal, but that certainly will change as this goes on.
A little extracurricular activity for Birmingham as the foul for the Legion goes on Dawson McCartney.
It looks like Abukara got caught again. He's been a bright spot for Loudoun so far and been dangerous when he's gotten the ball out on the left flank. So Hernandez Foster coming through and making a tackle there. No surprises, especially after he lost the ball. He's probably frustrated with himself. Been in that position plenty of times myself. When you give away the ball, you want to get it back, and sometimes you go a little bit too hard and create yourself an issue.
There you see a free kick coming up for Loudoun United as Tommy McCabe set to trigger things in. A free kick, an advantageous portion of the field to try and at least plan an attack here past the midway point of this opening half. Cloudy, but a cool and rather comfortable evening here at Protective Stadium in Birmingham. Both teams able to get on the board early. It's now Loudoun United trying to attack and gain their first lead of the season. Ball goes out of bounds. Looks as if last off of Birmingham. So a throw-in coming across from us on the east side of the stadium. First of 2 home games for Birmingham lead. A yellow card, in fact, I believe, on Birmingham on that last foul. So at least for all of the yellow and red cards this season, Rubio Law Firm bringing us that yellow card that went Birmingham's way, and Van Okel able to get the ground ball and get the ball back into play as Birmingham trying to move it up the field.
Yeah, Kavita's going to have to be careful the rest of this game now with the card, so he's not going to be able to go into tackles as hard as he would like.
Keep in mind Enzo Martinez as you take a look at Van Okel able to get the one hopper. Keep in mind Enzo Martinez sitting out tonight due to a red card suspension from the very close of the 2024 campaign. At least a great way so far for Loudoun United to get the season started, as they've been able to put Birmingham on their heels for much of almost this entire first half.
Speaking of Enzo Martinez, obviously missing him to start this year. He's the Energizer Bunny for this team, but as you mentioned, he got a card in that last game. He got it in the 91st minute as well.
Wow, that's an extra time. At the very end of the regular season, quite a time to be able to pick up a red card to get to the finish line for the season and not even be able to get at least his portion of the season started tonight. So Enzo Martinez will have to get his 2025 season started, his debut next Saturday. Loudoun United would like to get out of Birmingham with a W, however. It's a nice save initially by Van Okel. The follow-up, however, is good for Loudoun United as they take their first lead of the season.
Yeah, again, that's a big mistake from Legion FC at the back, and at this level, when you make mistakes like that, you should expect to be punished, and Legion FC were. Matt Van Okel makes the save. Kavita tries to deny the goal-scoring opportunity for Ryan, but the ball ends up with Abukora, and he smashes it home to make the game 2-1.
Abdulatif Abukora with the goal. As here you take a look at least a very solid performance so far in this first half for Loudoun United. They've come on the road and they've taken the lead. It's not quite toward the end of the first half, but the first, at least halftime, in sight for Loudoun United. So here you take a look at the first denial by Van Okel, but Loudoun United on the follow-up by Abukara able to take their first lead.
Yeah, and a bad clearance from Mensah, and Kavita can't help the situation. Obviously, Van Okel makes the first save, spills the rebound, but I have to admit, Loudoun have been the team that have been on the front foot, and they've come forward, and they've looked more like scoring the second goal, and they've gotten their reward here, just the 32nd minute.
Yeah, Loudoun United's looked very impressive so far to begin this 2025 season. And Loudoun United able to get the ball right back. Some solid teamwork offensively as far as spreading the ball around and able to take advantage of their goal-scoring opportunities, as it looks as if another foul goes on the Birmingham Legion.
Yeah, and one thing about Legion FC, at least last year, they were unable to score in the first half. So they got a goal. Here, as we see a replay of the foul here, Mency going in, probably taking a little bit of his frustration out. He's probably mad at himself for giving that ball away so cheaply on top of his box. That led to the second goal. But as we were talking about, Legion FC couldn't score goals in the first half last year. They got one in the second minute. Now they've given up 2 already. Last year at home, they weren't great. They were 11th out of 12 teams in the East at home. They were 6-2-9 and got 20 points. So there's room for improvement there, and they've got plenty of firepower up front to go and score goals, but they have to also keep teams out, and they also have to get the ball to those players who can go and score those goals, and they haven't been able to do it. So credit to Loudoun for having a good game plan set up here to come into Birmingham tonight in these first 35 minutes.
Loudoun defense pressing place in the Birmingham defensive half of the field, as Birmingham able to break it though, try and create an open field situation. Now they're trying to tie it up after they took their first lead in the first couple of minutes of play, as the strike goes well over the net that time. Looked as if, I think Hernandez Foster that time with at least the goal-scoring try that time for Birmingham. Sails well over the net. So Loudoun United able to retain their lead coming up on the late minutes of the first half. In the 36th minute of this first half. So Loudoun United has scored a couple of unanswered goals ever since the 5th minute or so, early on in this first half. Battle for control. It's basically the two teams trading possession here, and we have an offside on Birmingham as the flag goes up across the way.
So far in this match, Tabor Itaka, Damas, and Trejo only have 25 touches.
Giannis Learman gets the ball back into play for Loudoun United.
And if you look at Ryan and Leggett combined, they have over 30. So that tells you a little bit about how this game is going so far. And again, you look at the stats, you can delve deep into the stats about expected goals, etc. But at the end of the day, those stats are actually playing out in this game. Stats don't always tell the true story of a match, but they are telling this true story right now. The front few for Loudoun are getting the touches on the ball and having their opportunities. The front three for Legion FC are not.
Birmingham, at least right now, with control, as it'll come right toward the near side. Ruth with the opening goal for Birmingham in the first couple of minutes of play, but Loudoun United, they've had control of the game, especially the pace of the game ever since. A good pass up ahead, and a nice save that time by Farouk, as he's able to preserve the 2-1 advantage, as Birmingham's starting to get a little momentum now.
And that was a fantastic ball from Torres, and an even better first touch from Dawson McCartney. He just couldn't put the ball away.
We'll take a second look, and at least a great pass up ahead, but look at the save by Farouk as he's able to keep the lead for Loudoun United. Basically a one-on-one opportunity that time that Birmingham just wasn't quite able to finish.
Yeah, certainly there's something to be said for having the opportunity to score a goal like that, and Dawson McCartney did all the hard work and just couldn't put it away. A great ball from Torres. See, one of the things I would like to see right here, so Loudoun is pressing high and keeping Legion up front and keeping the ball in their defensive third and making them play short. When Van Elko gets the ball in his hands like that, he had an opportunity to outlet to Dawson McCartney, and it was 3v4 at the back. But you've got a 3 for Legion FC and Dawson McCartney, Damas, and Trejo, who can certainly, any of them by themselves can take on 2 or 3 players. So Legion FC need to be a little bit more ruthless, be quicker in their attack, and get the ball to these players in these spaces where they can go and do what it is they were brought in to do.
Ball goes out of bounds off of Birmingham. So Loudoun United, they want to try and not only keep this lead, but see if they can continue to attack Matt Van Okel and try and extend on their 2-1 lead as goes out of bounds to Birmingham. So it looked as if Abukara last touched it for Loudoun United. Birmingham Legion a tough time advancing upfield, but they'll able to get another throw in as a little extracurricular activity right in front of the benches. Some pleasantries being exchanged. It's as if Wesley Leggett for Loudoun United. There you take a look, a little tangle up there. Little love tap by Leggett. And I think Ronaldo Damas also the other party for Birmingham in that little exchange. As the ball advances upfield, last touch might have been a foul actually as well by Loudoun United. So we'll have a free kick coming up for Birmingham.
This is one of those times where, look, you're playing against a very young team in Loudoun, and when you get the opportunity to have a free kick, sometimes it's just better to play quickly and get the game going because they're not paying attention and they're losing sight of what's actually going on. But instead, Legion FC opted to put players forward and whip the ball in the box, which they get on the end of. Trejo gets on the end of it, but Farouk comes in and alleviates any danger. But again, I'd like to see Legion FC be quicker in possession, pass the ball quicker, get the ball forward quicker, get the ball to their playmakers. They have to trust them, but in order to trust them, they have to have the ball.
Farouk able to kick it. A good kick upfield is now Loudoun United. Last touches it out of bounds that time. So Birmingham gets it right back. Last touched by Florian Below, the 5'9" midfielder. So Birmingham set to throw it in as we take a look at the hardy veteran head coach Tom Sohn for Birmingham. Due to at least the injury timeout earlier in this first half, likely that we'll have at least a little bit of added time coming up before we get to the half. So far, about as good a first half as you could ask for Coach Ryan Martin. Already a couple of goals under their belt to begin this 2025 season. Still plenty of soccer to go here in this season opener, however, and oftentimes that second half is when the match just gets started. Birmingham did struggle in the first half a lot, especially at home last season, getting on the board. As it goes out of bounds. Last touched by Loudoun United. So controlling is Kavita. Sends it over to the near side. Now they'll try and set things up to see if the Legion can get things tied before going into the half. One of the rare times since the opening moments that Birmingham's been able to get it into the attacking third. McCartney able to get some sort of attack, but cleared out of the way that time by Loudoun United. So pace starting to pick up for Birmingham as they try and get it in quickly, but Loudoun United also attempting to get the ball out of their own defensive third. Good effort toward the middle that time. As a couple of players trip up. No whistle, however, as play continues. There's the shot a little bit off the mark that time. And you take a look at Roman Torres. It took a little spill, looked like, as we'll take a look.
Yeah, it's a very tough tackle from Velo there. Probably should have been a yellow card and a free kick, but referee obviously didn't give it, but some nice interchange here from Legion FC. Torres hops right back up. Can't hit the target in the end, but it's getting a little physical. So, again, the referee needs to remain consistent.
I'll tell you what, that was a pretty good job of Torres getting up initially and then getting himself in position to potentially tie it up. Birmingham Legion will be back here at home next weekend, and For tickets, visit bhmlegion.com/tickets. And if you can't make it, join us here at least next week on My 68 or on ESPN Plus. Coming up on at least the first 45 minutes of play to open up the season, and I would imagine likely some added time coming up before the two teams head to the halftime locker room. A great first half for Loudoun United as they've been able to pick up goals from Erlinson as well as Abukara to get them on top almost to the halfway point of this season opener. Loudoun United. So it appears that we will have at least a fair amount of added time before we get these two teams into the halftime locker room to regroup and plot what they want to do for the second half. So the first 45 minutes about to get into the books. And we're estimating about 3 minutes or so of stoppage time, which the stoppage time, and there you go. There you see the stoppage time brought to you by UAB Medicine. So we'll have a little bit more of the first half to go. Loudoun United trying to extend their 2-1 advantage. And indeed, 3 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. As Birmingham's had at least a couple of opportunities over the last couple of minutes here in the first half, but Loudoun United, they've been able to have an outstanding start to this first half. So a total of 3 minutes of stoppage time as Van Okel set to clear things for Birmingham. Still 45 minutes of the second half to go and maybe more. Van Okel, a good kick that time. However, looks like a break for Loudoun United. So they'll try and push things coming up as looks like Abukara with it. Good pass toward the middle and a strike and right at Van Okel, who gets the short hop save.
Yeah, Leggett did a good job of going down the right and holding play up a little bit, advancing them into the attacking third, lays the ball off, and McCabe comes and hits it well, just straight at Matt Van Okel.
So Birmingham has it. Good pass as they get it. The Legion does into the attacking third. McCartney tries to keep it inbound. Nice maneuvering, gets inside the box. Met by a double team, however. Good pass toward the middle, and the header just a bit high, however, that time. Good effort to try and create a goal to tie things up, but just a little off on the execution as you take a look at good effort by Danny Trejo. We'll take a second look.
Yeah, we talked about McCartney being able to take players on a little bit ago, and he does just that, beats a couple players, ends up laying a ball for Mensah to whip in, and finds Trejo just a little bit behind him, and tough for him to get that ball and redirect it on frame.
Hugo Faroux with the free kick. So good, solid kick to get it toward the attacking third for Loudoun. Loudoun United FC with 11 wins last year. Trying to get, in fact, both teams trying to get a big win number 1 in their first game of the season. Nice job by Birmingham to get things out of the box. Now Loudoun United spreads it out. Good effort that time by Leggett as Loudoun United briefly got it into scoring territory as that's last touch out of bounds by Loudoun United. And looks as if we are just about toward at least getting to halftime, and we are indeed at halftime here at Protective Stadium in Birmingham. Birmingham scored early in the first couple of minutes to open the season, but Loudoun United responds with 2 unanswered goals as right now the home team, at least in on their heels behind 2-1 going into halftime. Coming up, we'll have a look at first half highlights as well as notes and at least some changes, some of the upcoming games in the USL. Halftime as Loudoun United leads the Birmingham Legion 2-1 here at Protected Stadium in Birmingham.
Time to hammer down. Season tickets on sale now.
That spice is 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Hi, my name is Khadijah, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick of the chicken. It's just the right amount of heat. It gets me excited and definitely wanting more. And then, pro tip, add that cilantro lime sauce. I couldn't get enough of that sauce. It cools it down. If the sandwich is at 100, the cilantro lime takes it to 200. It makes me want to, tell all my friends and family.
Real guests paid for their testimonial.
A look at the wristwatch. That's it. The Indy 11 are a playoff team again in 2024. Your final scores. The Indy 11 3, Birmingham Legion 2.
Now they have to worry about 2025.
And it's the first time in team history to not make a postseason appearance, because you look at Birmingham Legion, what Tom Stone has been able to build. That talent is there, but now it's just not clicking in terms of the results and the execution. It's going to be really interesting in the offseason to see what Birmingham Legion does in personnel and what changes do they keep and who goes out the door.
I think if everything goes roses, you don't learn a whole lot. I think sometimes you need to hit a bump in the road to be able to look back and say, how can we change things and move forward in a positive direction? So it was a real good eye-opener for me. We always look at our families as probably our staple of why we do things, and soccer has been such an important part of my wife's life, my kids, who we are as people. Coming off a tough year, I think it's probably the first year I haven't made the playoffs as a coach, and it makes you reflect and look a little bit deeper and make sure that bringing this team in this year has a new focus.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Jansen Wilson tiptoed the line. Wilson! Brilliant! End-to-end! He has been on fire at Tampa Bay! Cross forward, brought down by Gagi! The hero! Let's go!
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
USL All Access is back. Neil Collins joins us, and it's kit season. Lexington, its first year in the USL Championship. Can they knock it out of the park? A Brendan Burke squad at Hartford Athletic who's trying to find that two-way balance. And this manager who's always been so offensively minded. Is there another Las Vegas Lights and a turnaround? And are the perennial favorites, like a Sacramento Republic, New Mexico, a Louisville or Charleston, up to the task from the get-go?
A cool evening here in Birmingham. We're at halftime of the season opener in the 2025 USL season as Loudoun United's come in a strong first half as they have a 2-1 lead over the homestanding Birmingham Legion FC. We'd like to welcome our friends in Birmingham and Central Alabama on My 68, and so far Loudoun United on top. And obviously you take a look at the standings, and of course it's the season opener. And as far as the Western Conference, Morgan, some of your thoughts as far as who to look for as some teams that may stand out this year?
Yeah, certainly New Mexico and Colorado Springs, who made the final last year and won it. Those are two teams that stand out to me. But Lexington has gotten off to a good start this year. They beat Orange County already, 2-0. So a great start for them out in the Western Conference.
And then we'll take a look here at the Eastern Conference in just a few seconds. Obviously, the starting line for the 2025 season this weekend. But I tell you what, Loudoun United's looked impressive so far in this first half. Any other teams, especially in the Eastern Conference, that Birmingham will be seeing over the course of the season to look for?
You certainly have to look at Rhode Island and what Coach Connell Smith has done in their first year. They made it to the final. Unfortunately, lost to Colorado Springs, but their new stadium opens in a few weeks. You got Lou City and Charleston, who are consistently very, very good. And judging by this Eastern Conference standing so far, it looks as though Detroit City with 36 points is crushing it. But they did win their first match of the year so far. They won 2-0 also. So,
and then let's take a look at the upcoming schedule in the USL later on tonight. Any games that pique your interest in that at least list of 5?
Yeah, I think Sacramento versus New Mexico is going to be a fantastic game. Home opener for Sacramento. They've obviously got some big things going over there. They're always very, very good. New Mexico, though, stands out to me, and I think they could go out there and nick a result.
Birmingham, along with Loudoun United, getting their season started as we take a look as far as some of the news and notes when it comes to the national broadcasting schedule for the 2025 season. 35 matches will air on national television, including 3 on CBS, and also 3 new stadiums coming online as far as the USL circuit this year. Those are some of the, at least, early season news and notes for the 2025 USL season. And then let's take a look at our first half totals for tonight's ball game. And you look pretty much just about all across the board. Loudoun United, most importantly with the lead, but everything else pretty much is to the advantage of Loudoun United.
Yeah, it certainly is. And they've got 7 shots on target to Birmingham's 2. Obviously, Birmingham scored 1 of those, and Faroux saved the other from Dawson McCartney. But Loudoun United have put together a good game plan thus far and have come out and they have been on the front foot and have continued to put pressure on Legion FC tonight. There's going to need to be some changes for Legion FC if they're going to go and get 3 points tonight or get a result or get a draw. But these first 10 to 15 minutes are going to be key and crucial for both teams to make sure that they go away with the result that they want tonight.
And you look at that possession time, it seems like Loudoun United had the ball a lot more than about 55% of that first half. But right now, at least a good time for all the folks here at Protective Stadium as Loudoun United leads at halftime 2-1.
We are Altec, Birmingham-based since 1929. We set the gold standard in equipment and services that connect us to the power and communications we all need. From bucket trucks to digger derricks, the equipment we make helps our customers and our communities dig deeper and reach higher. We're a team. We're a family. We're looking for someone just like you. Hammer down and team up with Altec. Learn more at jobs.altec.com.
Velo and makes Legion FC pay. First 5 minutes of this game were all fireworks. Fantastic start for both teams, but Loudoun were the ones who continued to keep their foot on the pedal. And in the 33rd minute, they got the goal that they deserved. It came off of a mistake from Legion FC, a poor touch, gave the ball away from Mensah. Benoko makes a big save, but unable to clear it away from his goal far enough. And Abukora comes in and just puts it in the top corner, and Loudoun take the lead 2-1 going into halftime. I certainly think that there's plenty of room for both teams to come out and continue to be on the front foot. Legion FC have a lot more to prove in this second half than Loudoun do. Loudoun need to maintain the momentum. If I'm Coach Martin, I'm not making any changes there, but if I'm Tommy Sohn, I'm looking to see what I might do to make some changes. You've got guys on the bench like Dorado who can come off the bench. You have Turnbull who's down there. You have Trey Garden who can also come off the bench and provide a little bit of a spark. So I'll be interested to see how this second half comes out for Legion FC and what they do.
The second half about to get started as both teams out of the halftime locker room. Loudoun United in the reds, and then the black tops and bottoms for the homestanding Birmingham Legion FC. A great way to get the first half started, and when we looked at the first half totals, that a time of possession, at least the ball control, having possession about 55% of the first half, really came into play between that 5 and almost 35-minute mark of that time of the game when Loudoun United FC was able to notch both of their goals to take this halftime lead. Which is if Loudoun United are ready to get things underway. So ball goes out of bounds as the two teams will be going the opposite way. For Loudoun United, they'll be going off toward the north end of the stadium, and for Birmingham Legion FC toward the south end of Protective Stadium. Loudoun United trying to pick up where they left off in the first half as far as just their attacking tempo and their aggressiveness in the attacking half of, as far as their offense is concerned. Birmingham able to clear things out across midfield. Jake Roof with the only goal so far for Birmingham in the second minute of play. But ever since then, Loudoun United, they've been able to control field position, and they've pretty much had their way with Birmingham ever since. Now Birmingham trying to set up an attack. Going off toward the south end of the field. Able to spread things out as Ramos has it.
It looks as though there was a change at halftime for Legion FC. They did take off Danny Trejo, new boy, but bring on another new face, and Luca Dorado, who has come in and is come out of college, and he scored 43 times in 69 total appearances down at University of Central Florida. So certainly a guy who will take his chances and can put the ball in the back of the net. So I'm interested to see how this allows for Legion FC to adjust in this second half.
Jake Roof with the ball near side as that gets deflected out of bounds by Loudoun United FC. Looked as if Abukara, who scored at least the go-ahead goal in that 33rd minute of the first half, that last hit it out of bounds as Birmingham trying to advance it toward the goal on the south end.
It's good quick work from Hamuda to get that ball to Mensah, who's now got it over to McCartney.
Yeah,
but one of the things we talked about for Legion FC, they have to play quicker. That was a little bit better, but still plenty of time for Loudoun to get back.
And that'll just be kicked out of bounds over the goal, as much of a defensive maneuver as anything for Giannis Learman, just to at least get it away from the goal. And so it appears, looks as if we're going to have our first corner kick, a Chick-fil-A corner kick here in the second half for Birmingham Legion FC.
It would be a carbon copy if they could go up and whip this ball in and Torres can get on the end of Jake Roof again.
And Torres, a line drive kick, and just sails over the goalkeeper's head, and Hugo Farouk.
Yeah, would have been almost the exact same timing as well had Legion FC been on the end of that and had a chance to score. But again, Torres not on the mark with that service as he was on the very first one in a black and gold jersey.
A new look roster for Birmingham. As you take a look at a goalkeeper for Loudoun United, Farouk, waiting to get things back underway, get the ball back into play. At least according to Coach Tommy Sohn, when we talked to him about Loudoun United, a team that's great on the ball, comfortable with the ball, however, also susceptible to the counter attack. Able to quickly move it upfield is Loudoun United as that goes out of bounds off of Birmingham Legion FC. So Loudoun United, 2 unanswered goals so far as the pass goes toward Awua to the near side. Good, quickly played, and into the back of the net, looks like. And don't see the offside flag, so count it for Loudoun United as they now take a 2-goal advantage.
And that was just, it was looked very, very easy for Loudoun to get around Legion FC and for Abu Kora to beat Jake Roof, get on the right side of him, and then play that ball across. And it looks as though it was Ryan who came across and just squeaked that in on the near post against Matt Van Okel to make it 3 for Loudoun and only 1 for Legion FC.
So another AT&T goal for Loudoun United as they're off to an impressive start so far tonight. As we played into the 5th minute of this second half, and already another goal on the board, the 3rd for Loudoun United FC. Give a lot of credit to the road team as they've been able to come in and take it to the home team in Birmingham Legion FC so far tonight.
Not the response you want if you're Tommy Sohn and Eric Avila over on the Legion FC bench, but certainly what you would love to see from your team if you're Coach Ryan Martin and Loudoun United FC.
Fanuel Kavita is about ready to, along with his teammates, to throw it in. As the throw-in checked that by Jake Roof, as Birmingham trying to find some answers against an aggressive and so far able to execute very well Loudoun United as a fight for the ball across the way from us and goes out of bounds. Looks as if it might have been last touched and was last touched by Birmingham at Legion FC's Dawson McCartney. There you see him tangled up with Keegan Tinke, the 5'10 defender. A quick throw in as Birmingham just about with their backs against the wall, as they'll try and still plenty of time here in the second half, but as we get into the second half, you'll get the set, at least you would hope, on the Birmingham sideline, Morgan, as far as a sense of urgency to try and battle back into contention.
You hope they'll have something in them to come back and get back into this match, but you know, all credit to Loudoun. I mean, Ryan goes and he's been a great goal scorer for them. He scored 20 goals in the last 2 seasons, 10 each. So certainly a guy who knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. And Abu Kora had just 1 assist last year and 5 goals. He's already got a goal and assist tonight. He's off to a fantastic start for them.
Ball goes out of bounds off at Birmingham, so a throw-in for Loudoun United. Looks as if we might have had a tripping foul that time on Birmingham. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your tickets to great seats. Loudoun United controls not only the ball, but the tempo of this ball game as the cross-field pass at least intended that time for Awuwa, goes out of bounds. So Birmingham United trying to find something to go right for them here in the early minutes of the second half. They were able to score a goal in the second minute of the first half for Jake Roof, but they've had no answers so far ever since for Loudoun United.
And again, we said it early in the broadcast. It looked as though Coach Martin and his boys in red had singled out their left side, Legion FC's right side, and Tabor Taka and Roof that they wanted to get after, and they certainly have done that tonight, and it's been to their advantage.
Battle for the ball down the sideline, and let's see, take a second look as a 50-50 ball at that time, as trying to advance it up the field was Leggett, and then looked as if Roof might have come in to try and knock the ball and may have gotten at least his feet tangled with Leggett as the ball goes out of bounds. I think they'll say last off at Birmingham.
Yeah, Leggett may have clipped Leggett there, but an opportunity for Loudoun to whip a ball in, and they've been dangerous on set pieces so far, so Birmingham need to make sure that they pay attention and defend this set piece well.
So opportunity for Loudoun United potentially to extend on their 2-goal lead, as they'll actually call the foul on Jake Roof. So Birmingham foul. Line drive kick, not the best of kicks that time, but last touched by Birmingham Legion FC. So that's going to result in the second free kick of the evening for Loudoun United. All the way down toward at least our left, your right. One hop bouncer, as it looks as if last touched again by Birmingham Legion United, so we'll redo another corner kick. Looks as if Abukara on the free kick, or the corner kick, I beg your pardon. Battle, a race for the ball, and goes out of bounds. Last touch by Loudoun United, so Birmingham gets the defensive break that time. As we come up on the 56th minute of this season opener. A little more than 10 minutes played here in the second half. And so far, so good for the road team, as they're trying to begin their journey toward what could be their first ever postseason appearance as an organization.
They're certainly off to a great start, and I like what I see from them thus far.
Certainly when you talk about, Morgan, 3 consecutive games for Loudoun United on the road. If you even get just one of those with 3 of your first games on the road to start the season, that's not the worst of starts, I would imagine, for Coach Ryan Martin.
Yeah, 1 out of 3 isn't what you want, right? But certainly you will, depending on how your team plays, that's what you really want. You want to see that you are absorbing all the things that you went through in preseason, and that the game plans that you're putting together are coming to fruition, and you and your coaching staff are doing a good job, and the players are receiving the instruction that you're giving well. Coach Martin talked about how they respond to adversity, and they have passed that test with flying colors so far this year in tonight's match, immediately scoring within three minutes of giving up the first goal, and then continuing to stay on the front foot and continuing to put pressure on Birmingham tonight, and they've reaped the rewards. They have been lethal in front of goal so far.
Roman Torres being checked on for Birmingham gives us an opportunity to remind you, as far as to stay up to date on all the latest Legion FC news, be sure to follow at BHM Legion on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and download the Legion FC app today. Roman Torres getting his first start of the season for Birmingham, along with the rest of his starting 11. A tough start, at least to the season opener right now, with the home team down by a couple.
And there's no Enzo Martinez available tonight. There's also no Tyler Pasher on the bench tonight either for Legion FC, so I'm not sure who you might bring on in order to become your number 10 in this situation, there's not a ton of options left on your bench at this moment.
And also A.J. Patterson out for tonight due to injury. So you have 3 players right off the bat out for Birmingham, not available for Coach Tom Sohn.
Yeah, it's funny, the head-to-head for these two teams so far has been 5-1-2. Legion FC has had the advantage, but in the 2 games that Loudoun has won, they've scored at least 3 goals.
Well, so far, they've gotten to the 3-goal mark, the magic 3 goals at least that you just mentioned, Morgan, that they need. As we'll take a second look at some more physical play, as you had this Hamuda just about take down from behind, at least his opposing player for Loudoun United. So Loudoun United will have a free kick coming up, as they controlled field position for almost the entire first half. And so far, they've got the advantage in the field position here on the free kick. Right now, they've got all the goals that they need to get out of Birmingham successfully with their first victory of the season, but still plenty of soccer still to go in this season opener. Also, a reminder for you, can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Foul on Birmingham Legion FC, so further advantage in the field position on this upcoming free kick, almost at least the extended outer portion of that line for the scoring box. So right toward the east sideline. Good. Not a bad job that time, but good defense by Birmingham to at least clear it out of bounds. So now it'll be a corner kick coming up as you take a look at Florian Velo get it in bounds, and a solid job that time by Moses Mensah to at least just get it out of bounds.
Yeah, the thing is, if he doesn't get on the end of that one, he's in trouble, and it looks as though Legion FC have been playing down a man for the past few minutes, but you've got Ethan Kos who has come on to replace Torres.
Areku checks in for the first time tonight for Birmingham Legion FC.
Excuse me, Areku, you're correct.
So we'll have corner kick number 3 tonight, in the second since halftime for Loudoun United FC. Learman for the corner kick. Not a bad, at least corner kick that time. However, coming out with it is Skundrich. We'll try and send it toward the pack of humanity, and it looks as if we have a whistle, and it'll go over to Birmingham Legion FC. 62nd minute of tonight's season opener. And Birmingham behind by 2 goals, as they took it very early, 1-0 lead, thanks to Jake Roof's header off the corner kick to get things started in the second minute of play tonight. But ever since then, Loudoun United has outscored Birmingham Legion FC 3-0. Also, we haven't gotten to talk about, as far as Coach Ryan Martin, a pretty good soccer, especially collegiate soccer player himself, as we have another opportunity quickly, at least toward the north end of Protective Stadium, but ball goes out of bounds, as at least for the moment Birmingham Legion was able to prevent that 4th goal from getting on the board, as we take a look at a couple of substitutions set to check in for Loudoun United. Riley Bajois, one of those, set to check in. Also, we'll have a second substitution. We'll get his name here in just a moment. As the Loudoun United FC very impressive so far on the corner kick. Not able to at least get it in there right in the middle. So they'll try again, and this time Matt Van Oekel comes in and flags it away for the save. Also, Ben Mines, the second player to check in at the last opportunity for Loudoun United FC. So Birmingham Legion FC not able to advance it up the field as the pass goes out of bounds across the way. And we've got, looks as if now we're about to do the subs, as you'll have both Bichois as well as Mines set to check in. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Loudoun United has been on top for the vast majority, at least of tonight's ball game. Birmingham an early lead, but that was erased literally about a couple to 3 minutes after Jake Roof was able to get the season started with a goal in the 2nd minute of tonight's match. And Van Oekel slows it down. Is now Birmingham Legion FC trying to find some rhythm offensively. Down a couple of goals as they send it, and able to be cleared out by Faroux out of bounds. So a throw in coming in for Birmingham Legion FC. Chasing it down, Kavita. Now Birmingham Legion FC trying to push the tempo as the shot a little bit off the mark that time, and that's one of the best opportunities of Morgan that Birmingham Legion FC has had, that time off the leg of Dawson McCartney, that they've had since really the early minutes of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a half chance from McCartney. It's the only chance that Legion FC have had this second half, and McCartney will have told himself, I can score that goal and I should have done better, but and unfortunately it goes over the crossbar for Legion FC fans.
So it remains a 2-goal advantage for Loudoun United FC. Coming down from Northern Virginia to the Deep South to get the 2025 season started, and so far so good for the team in red. Loudoun United pushes it ahead. Over across the way, Tingy has it. Has it just about taken away as it trickles out of bounds and last touched by Loudoun United FC. Not a good start, especially at home. At least some disappointing so far start to the 2025 campaign for Birmingham Legion FC. Still plenty of time to go, however, in this second half. However, things have to turn around here pretty quickly as we near the finish line for tonight's match. So still about 25 minutes plus any sort of stoppage time that does get added after the end of this 45 minutes of the second half. Battle for the ball by both teams. It looks as if we have a whistle and a Loudoun United foul. So Birmingham United set to kick things in. Fanuel Kavita triggers it back in. Birmingham has played on their heels so far in this second half, as they're still in there trying to get it out of the defensive third as Loudoun United extends their defense. Van Oekel has to quickly get it up the field. And good header that time by Kavita to try and at least create a little bit of action and momentum for the Birmingham offense as it goes out of bounds. Roof almost ready to throw in.
Again, that's just another bad giveaway from Legion FC, right? And credit to Loudoun, they are making Legion FC have to play the ball long. They're not allowing them to play the ball short out of the back like they want to. And again, there's yet drawing another foul. I think that's the 6th or 7th one tonight from him. He's done a great job of getting himself in between the ball and the man and protecting it, as well as drawing in the foul. And that one seems a little soft. He went down a little early, but there's certainly contact, and there's an arm from Mensah on top of his shoulder. So Leggett has taken advantage of what the referee has been consistently calling tonight. And, Legion FC players need to adapt to that.
Birmingham Legion FC trying to move it up the field, but nothing doing that time, as it goes right to Hugo Farouk.
Yeah, it's super direct from Tabor Taka. There's no depth on it. There's no angle on the ball. It's just straight down Route 1. And Legion FC, I want to know what they're trying to do in an attacking sense, but maybe it's what Loudoun is doing, and they're not able to adapt at the moment. But they need to figure this out. They need to figure out quickly, because time is running down.
It's still about 21 minutes and some change plus stoppage time to go, but Birmingham has to make up a 2-goal deficit here in the second half. Now Birmingham has it trying to attack as Mensah pass it back out toward midfield. Solid job as far as Loudoun United overall tonight, and that time on defense to force it back into Birmingham's own defensive half.
Legion FC still have Trey Garden on the bench, who they can bring on. So I'm surprised we haven't seen him thus far. I watched him a few times in preseason, and I thought he was good, but surprised to not see him in the lineup at all tonight.
Also, no Moses Nyman that we've seen for Coach Ryan Martin's squads. So at least coming in, they plan on him being one of their top attackers and goal scorers this season. So especially with 3 goals on the board without Moses Nyman, a very impressive night offensively so far for Loudoun United FC. Loudoun United pushes it up the field. And a tripping foul, it appears, for Birmingham Legion FC. And looks as if and there comes our second yellow card, I beg your pardon, of this Saturday night. So another Rubio Law Firm yellow card goes on Birmingham. So it looks as if that Moses Mensah picks up the yellow card for Birmingham Legion FC. So that's going to get pretty dangerous territory coming up as far as Birmingham Legion's defense, and I imagine that does not look like a very happy Coach Tommy Sohn right there, Morgan.
No, it doesn't. It looks as though the rain is starting to come down a little bit, and so when it rains, it pours. Legion FC are going to want to figure some of this out and find a way to get back into this game, at least make it interesting. But they've had a half chance so far this year. It looks as though Loudoun has really controlled this game and done a fantastic job of it thus far.
Florian Velo set for the free kick. Just outside of the box, as a little bit ahead that time. Nice job of Van Oekel of clearing it out, but Loudoun United FC, they have the score, and as the seconds keep ticking away, the clock will be further to their advantage. So Birmingham Legion FC has it. Great pass, trying to create something. It's Loudoun United trying to get it out of that scoring area, and there comes the flag right along the goal line basically that time. And so it looks as if an offside on Birmingham Legion FC. Yeah, let's take another look at the Van Oekel save.
That's a good job coming off your line to grab that. Punch that away.
And a missed opportunity that time. Looks as if Moses Mensah, if he could have gotten control of the ball, would have been able to get a much-needed goal for Birmingham on the board.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks as though they were offside. Dawson McCartney tried to play it across to Dorado and couldn't get on the end of it at the end of the day. But it's a little bit of a spark for Legion FC. They were able to break, but nothing comes of it in the end.
quickly back toward the north end of the stadium. Let's see who they say, a 50-50 ball, and looks as if it's going to be a corner kick coming up for Loudoun United FC.
It looks as though there's about to be an introduction for Loudoun. They're about to make a substitution and bring on Moses Naiman, who we were just talking about. He's a player that Coach Martin said he's excited to have back. He's very familiar with him, has coached him since the age of 13. He's gone on and played in a couple of different places, been in the MLS, been in Europe, and wants to help him get his career back on track. He's only 21 years old now, so still plenty of time to go and grow as a player, but he's back in Loudoun, back with Coach Martin, who he's familiar with, so we'll see what he's able to provide here for the last 15 to 20 minutes of this game.
Ball headed out of bounds by Loudoun United FC, and Naiman, you mentioned correctly, Morgan, very young, but also has had still with that an interesting dichotomy, plenty of playing experience at the professional level.
Certainly.
Something you don't necessarily see as far as a 21-year-old is concerned. Right now, high-level play for Loudoun United as we come up at least almost to the 75th minute of action tonight.
Yeah, and look, that comes off. I think he had a fantastic match tonight. He's been very, very lively, drawn several fouls in key positions and in dangerous positions for Loudoun, and has certainly provided for his team tonight.
Good team effort for Loudoun United, really from start to finish up to now.
Again, Legion SC having to go long. They're not able to get players like Kobe Hernandez-Foster on the ball. You know, he's a guy who created 62 chances, was 7th in the league last year in chances created. Hasn't been able to get on the ball much tonight. He needs to find it, then he needs to go and seek it out rather than, you know, have his teammates try and get it to him. But you know, still 15 minutes left in this match in the first in regular time for them to get him involved into the game a little bit more. And right on cue, there he is, shot from distance.
Yeah, Hernandez-Foster for long distance, but it gets deflected back at least toward about the first third of the field, and looks as if we've got another yellow card that comes out of the official's pocket. And it appears that's going to be another Birmingham Legion FC Rubio Law Firm yellow card.
Yeah, Jake Roof was a little late there. Some of the Loudoun players took a little exception to that, didn't like it. But started off like it's a fantastic night for Jake Roof, but since then it has not been as positive for him.
Yeah, Jake Roof with the trip that time, leading to the second yellow card for Birmingham Legion FC here in the second half. Now time becoming a serious factor for Birmingham as they try and find some way to advance it up the field. They haven't scored so far since the second minute of the first half, as now Loudoun United trying to get into the open field.
And that's careless from Hamuda, the U17 national team player for the United States. Gives the ball away too easily. Leads to a chance for Loudoun, but Matt Van Oekel still off his line very quickly. And again, there's Kobe Hernandez-Foster starting to get on the ball a little bit more, spray things out. Game's getting a little bit stretched, his legs get tired. You're not 90 minutes fit when you walk into your first match of the season. So players are starting to feel heavier legs. An opportunity for him to get on the ball again and start to create, but he needs to go and find the ball. He can't hide.
Looking to grab some of the season's Legion FC merchandise to wear to the next match at Protective Stadium. Check out all the new gear now at Birmingham Legion, bhmlegion.shop. Birmingham Legion FC with the throw-in. In desperate need of getting a couple of goals before getting to the finish line for the first time this season. Birmingham Legion FC with 13 wins, 15 losses, and 6 draws last year, as they came up just shy of making the postseason. Tabor as we have a whistle, and looks as if a tripping foul on Loudoun United, as Tabor Itaka tried to create a little separation to get by his defender, tried to create something positive that time offensively for Birmingham. As we'll take a second look here as Itaka gets upended that time just outside of the box area. And so Birmingham Legion FC, Birmingham Freightliner free kick coming up, and an important one for Birmingham Legion FC because they need to cut into this 2-goal deficit.
Yeah, this ball needs to be driven. Tons of pace on it, right at the 6, just above head height, maybe about 8 feet high, for somebody from Legion FC to come and attack it and put it straight into the net and not give Faru an opportunity to come and grab it.
Most as if Hernandez Foster and Tabor Itaka, as that sails over, and a wasted opportunity, the second time we've seen that so far tonight. So
yeah,
a missed chance that time for Birmingham Legion FC to try and at least create a goal-scoring opportunity. And when you come up close to that 80th minute now, Morgan, chances start to dwindle as far as Birmingham Legion FC to realistically get back into the game.
They certainly do, and you know, Hernandez Foster at least needs to put that on target or give somebody a chance to get on the end of it. And again, I love the energy from Ronaldo there to try and go put pressure, but he went by himself, and so it's so easy to be passed around, and there was no defensive help for him. He just literally chased the ball, and they just ping-ponged it around him to make it super simple. And you know, Wu goes down with an injury or with a foul from Tabor Itaka here, and there's obviously some contention here from the crowd. They're starting to think that the referee is blowing the whistle a little bit too easily at this point, and you know, again, there's contact, but
looks as if Morgan might have been a little Oscar performance that time for Awua to get the Birmingham Legion foul.
Yeah, and he's waving at the fans, and they're not going to like that. But again, his team's up 3-1. If the referee's going to call it, it's not his fault.
So Loudoun United FC keeps possession. Right now, they don't need any more goals as much as anything, just to try and keep Birmingham Legion FC out of scoring territory, as Birmingham Legion FC coming up on almost the final 10 minutes of regulation. We'll see how much stoppage time is added toward the very end. But right now, things not looking very good for the team in black. So a free kick coming up. Hernandez Foster, pretty good kick toward the box as it's batted around, and from right in the middle of the field, off the mark that time. Not sure, did not look like a deflection as well.
Dorado got on the end of it, but you know, it deflected out for a corner, and so Kobe Hernandez Foster has come forward to take this Chick-fil-A corner kick for Legion FC with hopes of getting one back on the board. And this is the energy that Legion FC should have been showing 60 minutes ago, after they went down 1-0 and had an opportunity to settle the game down. But you know, now they're kind of starting to come into their own. They're kind of starting to get on the front foot. I don't know if that's some tired legs from Loudoun or just that Legion FC is finally starting to wake up with, you know, 10 minutes left in this game.
Hernandez Foster with the free kick, or the corner kick rather, as that goes wide off toward the left. So the goal-scoring opportunity from Moses Mensah, as he missed well off the mark. However, no worries for Loudoun United FC, as Hugo Farouk can just take his sweet time to get the ball back into play. Coming up on the 83rd minute of play here at Protective Stadium. So far, a fantastic night for Loudoun United FC, as they have scored 3 unanswered goals after trailing 1-0 very early on.
Yeah, the referee needs to give him a card for that. That's something that all referees and all federations have been harping on, in terms of you can't slow the game down, you can't kick the ball away, and that's a first yellow of the season for Boudoir.
Yeah, Rubio, another Rubio law firm yellow card. We've seen quite a few of those. Not something as far as too surprising, especially in the very first match of the 2025 season. Ball out of bounds goes to Loudoun United FC. Throw in coming up for Keegan Tingy. Tell you what, if you're Coach Ryan Martin wants you, assuming that they're able to at least hold on to the lead, he'll have to be very happy not only with getting the victory, but just also how his team has earned the win and played well as a team tonight.
And they certainly have. Loudoun have been very good tonight. They've shown a lot of maturity, which he told us early in the year or earlier this week that they needed to show, and they certainly have done so. I've been very impressed with their ability to come into Birmingham and really come on the front foot and really control the game for the majority of it.
A quick throw in for Birmingham as Loudoun United able to take it right away.
Yeah, no foul there. Referee decided to let that play. You know, Natalie Simon has called some things, not called some others. It's been an interesting night for both teams, but you know, again, consistency is big.
Tabor Itaka tries to push the tempo as it goes. It's out of bounds, and also some pushing and tripping also toward the middle of the field.
Yeah, there's some frustration for Tabor Itaka coming out there. That was looked like it could have been a nasty tackle there.
Don't forget, Legion FC is back at Protective Stadium next Saturday night. And before we tell you about next week, another look at that last Tabor Itaka foul for Birmingham Legion FC. Already a couple of yellow cards for Birmingham here in the second half. Don't forget, next Saturday, about this time next Saturday, Birmingham Legion FC hosts Louisville City FC at 7 p.m. Get your tickets to the match today at bhmlegion.com/tickets. And if you can't make it to the match, tune in to watch it right here on My 68 in Birmingham or on ESPN Plus, and follow along at BHM Legion on Twitter or what's now X for live match updates. So coming up on the closing minutes of regulation, still coming up on the 86th minute of play, not including any stoppage time that is added before we get to the finish line for tonight. Loudoun United took a 2-1 lead into halftime as they were able to add a goal early on in this second half, and trying to add another one, but deflected, looks as if off of Birmingham. So we're going to have a corner kick, I believe, for Loudoun United, and indeed we will.
Yeah, no reason to take this quickly for Loudoun United. Savolo, obviously being a veteran in this league, USL Team of the Year last year. You know, not going to rush into getting this ball back into play. But you mentioned Loudoun United, or excuse me, Louisville City coming into town next week. They got to win tonight, 2-1.
So Louisville City FC will have some momentum coming into Birmingham next week. Loudoun United, they'll have a lot of momentum going into their next game next week. So the foul goes on Loudoun United FC. So far the goals tonight for Loudoun United FC from Erlinson in the 5th minute, 33rd minute by Abukara, and then Ryan in the 50th minute of this match. So 3 different plays, Zach Ryan that is, for Loudoun United FC in that 50th minute, and as quickly the other way, Birmingham pushes it.
And Kobe Fernandez-Foster gets on the end of the ball and kind of unlocks the Loudoun defense a little bit, gets Jake Roof forward. Again, he's on the ball here, spraying it wide. He's just been, he hasn't been as active in this game until the last really 7 to 10 minutes. You know, Legion FC needed him to get on the ball in the first 70 minutes, not the last 7 to 10. You know, he's certainly a player that can make a difference, but hasn't been able to get on the ball for whatever reason tonight, and it's certainly shown.
Another throw-in coming in for Birmingham, and it's coming down to the final few minutes, and right now Loudoun United in an outstanding position as far as getting their first win of the season, with the finish line almost in sight.
Again, this ball needs to come wide to Jake Roof. He needs to take a touch, he needs to whip it in.
And here's Roof sending it almost a cross-field pass. Now Hernandez-Foster tries to split 2 defenders So Loudoun United, all they really need to do is just clear it out of the way, and they pretty much can coast home with their first victory of the season.
They've got an opportunity to get on the end of this and get forward.
In fact, that's exactly what they do as we come up on the final couple of minutes or so of regulation. Nice ball maneuvering in scoring territory that time as it goes out of bounds, however, off of Loudoun United FC.
Yeah, Mines has fresh legs. He's come on and he wants to make an impact. Has gone straight at the Legion FC defense to try and get a goal, but haven't seen Nyman get on the ball yet. There he is, close to it, but for Loudoun, but I'm sure he'll have his opportunities later this season after just getting back with the club. But again, Legion FC, not their best showing tonight. Hernandez Foster getting on the ball again. We've said his name several times the last 10 minutes, but we didn't say it enough in the first half or the first 20 minutes of the second half. The attack from Legion FC has been oftentimes very slow, which is easy to defend, and so they've got to find a way to unlock guys like Ronaldo here and give him opportunities to score goals. Danny Trejo, hopefully he only came off at halftime because Tommy Sohn wanted to make some tactical changes, but hopefully it's not an injury, because you've already got Stephen Turnbull, who you got on a transfer fee from Rhode Island, who didn't feature in tonight's game. You've got Tyler Pasher, who's on the bench. You want to make sure you don't have a ton of injuries early in the season, but it looks as though that might be another thing that's happening for Legion FC.
Coming up on the final moments of regulation, and imagine we might have a little bit of stoppage time coming up before what appears to be a season-opening win for Loudoun United FC. Birmingham scored their lone goal from Jake Ruffin the first 2 minutes in the second minute, and then it's been the Loudoun United FC show pretty much ever since. Nice if the score as of now still is the final score, would be a disappointing opening night for Birmingham Legion FC. A little slip-through pass, at least toward the box, goes out of bounds. So we'll have another substitution set to come in for Loudoun United FC. Christian Sorto awaiting to come in, and now does come in as we come to 90 minutes. And looks as if we'll also have a little bit of extra stoppage time brought to you by UAB Medicine.
Yeah, Velo comes off a fantastic performance from him. We've got 4 minutes of stoppage time coming into the end of the first home match for Legion FC, sponsored by UAB Medicine Sports and Exercise. Not what Tommy Sohn and his staff would have wanted to start off with to begin the year. This is not the performance he was hoping for.
And then for Ryan Martin, everything he could ask for as far as coming on the road, first of 3 to start the season and come out. And really, as far as just tonight goes, of these two teams, Loudoun United has appeared for almost this entire match to be the better team on the field tonight.
Certainly. I mean, they've earned the 3 points tonight. Very impressive performance from them.
One of the goals for Coach Ryan Martin to get his organization into the playoffs for the first time. And certainly, still a long way to go for all of the teams in the USL when it comes to the marathon that is a regular season. But still, hey, if you're trying to at least establish at least some winning tradition when it comes to Coach Ryan Martin, his Loudoun United squad, this is a very good and big first step as far as this season is concerned.
No, it certainly is. They should be very proud of the result that they've got tonight. Take nothing away from Loudoun. They've been very good. Legion FC will have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what it is they want to do this year.
Erlinson back in as well for Loudoun United. 4 minutes of stoppage time in total here in the second half. About halfway through that stoppage time. And it's all Loudoun United trying to do here is just milk that stoppage time and get across the ticker tape at the finish line successfully. 2 goals in the first half for Loudoun United to take that 2-1 halftime lead. They added a goal 5 minutes into the second half, and they have never looked back.
And Legion FC have hardly looked like scoring in the second half, unfortunately, for their fans and their team. Not the inspiring performance you would have wanted to see in your home opener.
Another substitution set to come in as Aaron Hurge appears ready to make his way onto the field. So that looks as if it'll be the final substitution of the night for Loudoun United FC. And the last little bit of stoppage time is a little bit of keep away for Loudoun United as they last touch it, however, out of bounds. Looks as if a bit too little too late for Birmingham Legion FC to try and at least get a very last second surge going as the battle for the ball goes out of bounds, and last touched by Birmingham Legion FC appears by Moses Mensah. There's the head coach, Ryan Martin, for Loudoun United, about to get his team in the victory column for the first time this year. Birmingham Legion with the throw-in, and looks as if the takedown right below us by Loudoun United's, looks like, trying to get who that was that committed the foul, but nonetheless, we're about almost to the finish line for Loudoun United FC and Birmingham Legion, and there's the whistle, and looks as if Loudoun United player down, and I think that we have come to the end of tonight's season opener. And other than a very early goal from Jake Roof and Birmingham Legion, it was pretty much all Loudoun United as they scored 3 unanswered goals, including 2 in the first half, to come away with a 3-1 win to open the 2025 season. So a big night for Loudoun United, as we'll go ahead and take this timeout, and we'll begin our post-game after this from Protective Stadium. Once again, your final score, Loudoun United 3 and Birmingham Legion 1.
That spice is 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Hi, my name is Khadijah, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick of the chicken. It's just the right amount of heat. It gets me excited and definitely wanting more. And then, pro tip, add that cilantro lime sauce. I couldn't get enough of that sauce. It cools it down. If the sandwich is at 100, the cilantro lime takes it to 200. It makes me want to, tell all my friends and family.
Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Time to hammer down. Season tickets on sale now.
The season opening Saturday, a good one for Loudoun United as they're able to come in and basically control the tempo of the ball game almost from the very start, as Loudoun United able to take a 3-1 win on the road to open the 2025 season here at Protective Stadium in Birmingham against Birmingham.
And Eric Avila and Jay Heaps, the technical staff for Legion FC, have got some drawing up to do to get ready for Louisville City next week. All credit to Coach Ryan Martin and his staff for coming in. 15 shots, 9 of them on target, whereas Legion FC had 10 shots, only 2 on target. Obviously the goal, and then the one from Peru who made the big save with Dawson McCartney getting through, but plus a couple injuries for Legion FC. So a fantastic start for Loudoun, the complete opposite for Legion FC.
And we'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for, first off, Loudoun United FC. This was the first of 3 consecutive games on the road as they go to Cary, North Carolina next week to take on North Carolina FC next Saturday. at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And then they'll also go on the road the following Saturday on the 22nd against Louisville City FC, who, as far as Louisville City FC, they come to Birmingham next week to take on Birmingham Legion FC at 7 p.m. local time next Saturday. And there you take a look at Birmingham's upcoming schedule over really the first couple of months of the regular season.
Yeah, and they've got Louisville City coming in next week. And Serrano and Perez got off the mark early for Lou City in their 2-1 win tonight against Charleston. That was a big result to start the season. That's a big game. Two teams that could be very, very dangerous. But it doesn't get any easier for Legion SC. They go straight to Detroit and then to Pittsburgh in their next two matches after that. They need to get healthy, and they need to figure out what they're going to do in attack and how they can get guys like Ronaldo and get guys like Danny Trejo involved in the attack to create some chances to get some targets on goal.
There you see Jake Roof with the only goals tonight for Birmingham, and then three different Loudoun United FC members contributed as far as goal scoring tonight. Zach Ryan in the second half, and then Jacob Erlinson and Abdulatif Abukara in the first half for the three goals for Loudoun United FC as they get the season started with a 1-0 start with their 3-1 road victory. And then Birmingham Legion FC, a disappointing night to open up the 2025 season as they fall to 0-1 on the year. As we mentioned, they'll remain at home next weekend while Loudoun United stays on the road, and they go to Cary, North Carolina next week. As you take a look at the highlights of an outstanding night for Loudoun United, as Jake Roof able to get the scoring started 2 minutes in, but really after that it was all Loudoun United until they got successfully to the finish line. So for all of our crew here in Birmingham, a job well done to open up the season, and for Morgan Copes alongside me, James Hardy, wishing you a good Saturday night for Birmingham, as one more time your final score to open up 2025. It's Loudoun United 3 and Birmingham Legion 1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.
A good positioning and the opening goal for the season. And very early on, less than 2 minutes in, Morgan, Birmingham gets on the board.
Absolutely, and what a picture-perfect start to the season for Birmingham Legion FC. I believe it was Jake Roof who got on the end of that.
A good positioning and the opening goal for the season. And very early on, less than 2 minutes in, Morgan, Birmingham gets on the board.
Absolutely, and what a picture-perfect start to the season for Birmingham Legion FC. I believe it was Jake Roof who got on the end of that. Roof have all been here really since almost day one. Wow.
A corner kick into the back of the net, so Loudoun United scores just about 2 minutes after the Birmingham Legion get their first goal of the season. So a hot start for both teams as they already have their first goals of the season.
Certainly, and both teams had a ball whipped straight in. Roof have all been here really since almost day one. Wow.
A corner kick into the back of the net, so Loudoun United scores just about 2 minutes after the Birmingham Legion get their first goal of the season. So a hot start for both teams as they already have their first goals of the season.
Certainly, and both teams had a ball whipped straight in. Roof have all been here really since almost day one. Wow.
A corner kick into the back of the net, so Loudoun United scores just a good positioning and the opening goal for the season. And very early on, less than 2 minutes in, Morgan, Birmingham gets on the board.
Absolutely, and what a picture-perfect start to the season for Birmingham Legion FC. I believe it was Jake Roof who got on the end of that.
A good positioning and the opening goal for the season. And very early on, less than 2 minutes in, Morgan, Birmingham gets on the board.
Absolutely, and what a picture-perfect start to the season for Birmingham Legion FC. I believe it was Jake Roof who got on the end of that. Roof have all been here really since almost day one. Wow.
A corner kick into the back of the net, so Loudoun United scores just about 2 minutes after the Birmingham Legion get their first goal of the season. So a hot start for both teams as they already have their first goals of the season.
Certainly, and both teams had a ball whipped straight in. Roof have all been here really since almost day one. Wow.
A corner kick into the back of the net, so Loudoun United scores just about 2 minutes after the Birmingham Legion get their first goal of the season. So a a hot start for both teams as they already have their first goals of the season.
Certainly, and both teams had a ball whipped straight in. Roof have all been here really since almost day one. Wow.
A corner kick into the back of the net, so Loudoun United scores just about 2 minutes after the Birmingham Legion get their first goal of the season. So a hot start for both teams as they already have their first goals of the season.
Certainly, and both teams had a ball whipped straight in.
Birmingham with a W, however, is a nice save initially by Van Oekel. The follow-up, however, is good for Loudoun United as they take their first lead of the season.
Yeah, again, that's a big mistake from Legion FC at the back, and at this level, when you make mistakes like that, you should expect to be punished, and Legion FC were. Matt Van Oekel makes the save.
Birmingham with a W, however, is a nice save initially by Van Oekel. The follow-up, however, is good for Loudoun United as they take their first lead of the season.
Yeah, again, that's a big mistake from Legion FC at the back, and at this level, when you make mistakes like that, you should expect to be punished, and Legion FC were. Matt Van Oekel makes the save.
Birmingham with a W, however, is a nice save initially by Van Oekel. The follow-up, however, is good for Loudoun United as they take their first lead of the season.
Yeah, again, that's a big mistake from Legion FC at the back, and at this level, when you make mistakes like that, you should expect to be punished, and Legion FC were. Matt Van Oekel.
Both teams able to get on the goal on the board early. It's now Loudoun United trying to attack and gain their first lead of the season. Ball goes out of bounds. Looks as if last off of Birmingham. So throw in coming across from us on the east side of the stadium. Both teams able to get on the goal on the board early. It's now Loudoun United trying to attack and gain their first lead of the season. Ball goes out of bounds. Looks as if last off of Birmingham. So throw in coming across from us on the east side of the stadium.
There he is, shot from distance.
Yeah, Hernandez Foster for long distance, but it gets deflected back at least toward about the first third of the field, and looks as if we've got another yellow card that comes out of the official's pocket. And it appears that's going to be another Birmingham Legion.
There he is, shot from distance.
Yeah, Hernandez Foster for long distance, but it gets deflected back at least toward about the first third of the field, and looks as if we've got another yellow card that comes out of the official's pocket. And it appears that's going to be another Birmingham Legion. Night for Loudoun United FC as they have scored 3 unanswered goals after trailing 1-0 very early on.
Yeah, the referee needs to give him a card for that. That's something that all referees and all federations have been harping on in terms of you can't slow the game down, you can't kick the ball away, and that's a
big night for Loudoun United FC as they have scored 3 unanswered goals after trailing 1-0 very early on.
Yeah, the referee needs to give him a card for that. That's something that all referees and all federations have been harping on in terms of you can't slow the game down, you can't kick the ball away, and that's a
that time by Florian Velo of getting the interception, as a good recovery, however, by Birmingham to deny the goal scoring opportunity. Got numbers as they can push it. Good pass toward the goal, and nice job by Van Oekel of at least clearing it away from the goal out of bounds.
Yeah, it looks like
of the game, especially the pace of the game ever since. A good pass up ahead and a nice save that time by Farouk as he's able to pursue. Abukara with it. Good pass toward the middle and a strike and right at Van Oekel, who gets the short hop save.
yeah, Leggett did a good job of going.
Collegiate soccer player himself, as we have another opportunity quickly, at least toward the north end of Protective Stadium, but ball goes out of bounds. Right in the middle. So they'll try again, and this time Matt Van Oekel comes in and flags it away for the save. Birmingham Legion FC trying to push the tempo as the shot a little bit off the mark that time, and that's one of the best opportunities of Morgan that side of the box, as a little bit ahead that time. Nice job of Van Oekel of clearing it out. And
National team player for the United States gives the ball away too easily. Leads to a chance for Loudoun, but Matt Van Oekel still off his line very quickly. And again, there's
teams this season that we may see tonight potential. Coming up next is the 2025 season opener for Birmingham and Loudoun United.
And all of these players are going to be eager to go out, show what they've learned in preseason. They've been barked at for weeks from their coaches, and they're going to be wanting to go out and get 3 points tonight.
And when you look at Birmingham, it's basically a makeover as far as their roster for the upcoming season.
It certainly is. Coach Stone said he wanted to turn the page completely from 2024, and they've added. And they're going to be wanting to go out and get 3 points tonight.
And when you look at Birmingham, it's basically a makeover as far as their roster for the upcoming season.
It certainly is. Coach Stone said
game plan thus far and have come out and they have been on the front foot and have continued to put pressure on
by 2 goals as they took it very early 1-0 lead thanks to Jake Roof's a header off away with a 3-1 win to open the 2025 season. So Roof with the only goals tonight for Birmingham, and then 3 different Loudoun United FC members contributed as far as goal scoring tonight. Zach Ryan in the second half, and then Jacob Erlinson and Abdallatif Abukara in the first half for the 3 goals for Loudoun.